Hey everyone, welcome back. If you've ever looked at a New York State tax bill and thought, wait, half of this is penalties and interest, you're not imagining things. The penalties add up fast. But here's the good news. In some cases, you can get them reduced or removed. Let's talk about how. New York State charges penalties for a few different things. One, failure to file. If you don't file your return on time, you're looking at up to 25% of the tax due, depending on how late you are. Another one is failure to pay. If you file but don't pay, that's another penalty on top. Accuracy penalties. If the state determines you understand your income or overclaim deductions, they can tack on additional penalties. And then of course there's interest, which isn't technically a penalty, but it compounds monthly and never stops accruing until the balance is paid. So yeah, a $5,000 tax debt can turn into $8,000 to $10,000 pretty quickly. So the big question I get asked every day is, can you get penalties removed? Well, yes, but it depends on your situation. New York State offers something called penalty abatement for taxpayers who have reasonable cause for their failure to file or pay on time. So what counts as reasonable cause? Well, it's things like serious illness or death in the family, natural disaster, reliance on bad advice from a tax professional, inability to obtain necessary records despite reasonable efforts. These are just a few. Conversely, what doesn't count? Well, I forgot, or I don't have the money. I didn't know I needed to pay. I just signed what my tax professional put in front of me. Those generally won't cut it. If you think you have a case, you'll need to submit a written request to the state explaining your circumstances. Be specific. Provide documentation such as medical records, death certificates, correspondence with your accountant, whatever supports your case. The state will review your request and make a determination. If they deny it, you can appeal. One thing to note, even if you get penalties abated, you're still on the hook for the underlying tax and the interest. Interest almost never gets waived, but removing the penalties can still significantly reduce your total balance. Here's something a lot of people don't know. If you have a clean compliance history with New York State, you may qualify for first-time penalty abatement. This is basically a one-time pass, or for you golfers out there, a mulligan. If you filed and paid on time in prior years and this is your first slip-up, the state may waive the penalties as a courtesy. It's worth asking. So if you're staring at a tax bill loaded with penalties, don't just accept it. There may be a relief available. Give my office a call and let's see if we can get some of those penalties knocked down. As always, work with a tax professional who can evaluate your specific situation and put together the strongest case for penalty relief. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.